Jujutsu Kaisen. This is why Mahito is the best villain. The epitome of malevolence and the instinctual adversary of Yuji Itadori, Mahito. Though initially a mere thorn in the side of sorcerers, Mahito rapidly evolved into the most lethal cursed entity, fueled by his deadly abilities and an unrelenting fixation on obliterating Yuji. Indeed, Mahito, characterized as the mirror reflecting humanity in Jujutsu Kaisen, persistently coerced Yuji into shedding fragments of his former self, culminating in a confrontation with the ultimate reality. To fully comprehend the intricate process through which Mahito dismantled and reconstructed Yuji, all while embarking on a voyage of self-revelation, we must delve into their interactions from the very outset. Starting with his debut in Chapter 19, Mahito stands out as an extraordinary cursed spirit, even amidst his own kind. Mahito, born from human hate. While his friends also embodied curses born from fears and adverse emotions, a substantial distinction set him apart. The rest emerged from the terror of natural disasters such as volcanoes, whereas he personified the very essence of human resentment. Deep-seated within the human heart lies a wellspring of animosity, stemming from a myriad of sources like politics, religion, wealth, desire, and even sexuality. These emotions have in fact grown increasingly polarized as time has marched on. It is due to this intensification that Nanami contends that Mahito acquired a human form only recently and ascended to the ranks of the special grade curses, meaning that he is a young curse who is the embodiment of the worst of humankind, the species that takes too much pride in itself. It is ironic that his name itself translates to true human, and he has an appearance quite eerily resembling a human. However, with all his stitches, he also reminds us of Frankenstein's monster. Mahito is stitched together with bits and pieces of what makes humans, but he's not truly one. In Chapter 21, we uncover Mahito's profoundly distorted perspective on humanity. He holds the conviction that humans lack a heart and are merely possessed of a soul. According to his philosophy, all living entities are sustained by this essence, blurring the distinction between a curse and a human. In his eyes, both entities emerge as products of nature's course. This ideology of his stems from his deadly ability known as idol transfiguration. This power grants him the capacity to manipulate and reform the souls of his chosen targets through mere physical contact, enabling him to grotesquely distort their bodies. It is through this technique that he theorized that the form of the body is delineated by the contours of the soul, a pivotal motif within the Jujutsu Kaisen narrative. This explains Mahito's fixation on souls, as he further explains to Junpei that the reason he follows his instincts is because he can see the shape of the soul. He finds that there is no worth in life, because just like the universe exists and all the other things in it like rivers exist for no reason, so does life. Consequently, in a cyclical fashion, the anguish and tribulations of humans not only constitute Mahito's origin, but also define his purpose. With the ability to perceive countless souls, they all appear virtually uniform to him, ultimately leading him to the conclusion that no life worth protecting, particularly that of humans. He also finds it amusing how hypocritical humans are. As Mahito puts it, the so-called dignity obtained by human reason because humans assume their lives are more worthwhile and dignified than everything else. By what authority do humans elevate themselves to such heights? Put plainly, we designate ourselves as a superior species owing to our intelligence and moral principles. Hence, when a human eliminates a curse, it's deemed just and heroic. However, should a curse take a human life in accordance with its instincts, it's labeled an abhorrent act, entirely unjust. This dichotomy establishes humans as virtuous and curses as malevolent. However, Mahito forces us to think of a crucial flaw in this logic. Morals do not exist as laws of nature. Humans make them up by acting on their own sense of reasoning. But does the same morality apply to curses when, in fact, some of them also possess the same level of intelligence and logic that humans do? Mahito's only question is, what really is good or evil? Just because he is a curse, he deserves to die, unlike Yuji, who is a human. Even though they both exist in the world as living beings, why does Mahito not deserve the freedom to act as he wants or receive a natural death Yuji aspires to provide everyone with? This is what fuels Mahito's desire to play around with humans' emotions and manipulate them for his own enjoyment. Naturally, the individual who ignited his destined animosity with Yuji was Junpei, an innocent child subjected to merciless bullying for no valid reason. Poetically, his ability transmutes humans into a grotesque and contorted mass, mirroring how hatred and envy can transform any individual into something terrifying and unrecognizable, defying salvation. Junpei, too, was consumed by his resentment, driving him to become the antithesis of the person he once was as his mother's child. This transformation persisted until his final moments, a change that proved irreversible by the time awareness dawned upon him. However, what truly adds depth to Mahito as an intriguing villain is his own bigotry. Despite presenting himself as a nihilist who dismisses the worth of existence, he uses this ideology to rationalize his murders. From his perspective, nihilism serves as a moral license to absolve his deeds and impulses. Nonetheless, when all is said and done, he's essentially engaging in a similar behavior to Yuji's, albeit without acknowledgement. This implies that his demeanor isn't genuinely indifferent. He simply finds solace in perceiving it as such. After all, were he genuinely indifferent, he would exhibit no concern for curses taking over the humans, even if it meant sacrificing his own life. In this scenario, regardless of the superior entity, it should hold equal significance to him. Thanks for watching.